What's up? It's Lance back with another interview. Today we have Chris Cherry. He's currently at the University of Illinois Springfield, but watch out this week on his Instagram. I'll make sure I plug that. He is a conference champion four times at Illinois State. That would be the GLVC conference. He's a four-time all conference. He got sixth place as a team at the Division II cross country national championships this year. He's ranked top 20 in the 10K and 15 at the Division II level as well. So he has quite the resume. So, Chris, how's the day been so far?
That's been good. Just kind of enjoying my summertime. I'm on my running break as of right now, so just kind of relaxing.
How long you taking off?
I'm thinking it's just gonna be for the week, and then I'll kind of do some easy run, just get my legs back under me. But
I got
yeah,
you. So you were successful in high school. What was some of the joys of being successful in high school?
yeah. So my high school career was definitely a lot different than most people's. I didn't really take running seriously until my senior year, but my senior year at track, I really locked in, and I had a lot of success just being training every day, putting in 60-mile weeks, like just training hard. And then it was weird with COVID. That kind of was a setback in a way, but at the same time, we were still able to get together some good meets like we had in Shelbyville with, me, Drew, and Gavin and Ryder. Like we were able to put together some good meets and we had a good season. So yeah, it was fun being fit for my last season of high school.
So when you had COVID, how did that affect you as a runner and also human when COVID hit?
Yeah, so I actually didn't get COVID until this year. It was after my 10K in California. And that was, I mean, it's still kind of like affecting me a little bit. I can tell like aerobically, it just weighs on you for a while. And most people say it just takes a few months to get back into running. That's like you're not breathing super heavy and your heart rate's not high. But it was a challenge at first, but now I've got through it. In high school, it was definitely really weird with our state meet. Everything was on one day, so it was pushed back until the middle of summer. It was really hot, and I mean, yeah, it was weird in high school, but we worked through it, and now we're good.
So what did some of your training look like in high school before you got serious with running? And then you kind of covered it quickly, but what were some of the weeks looking like? 60 miles.
Yeah, I didn't really. So I just trained like with our high school coach at the time, and um, he's definitely like an old school kind of guy. Like me and him got along real well, but and like we had like good mindsets that like worked with each other. But yeah, the training just like didn't work out, and then I never trained in the off season, which was it was completely my fault there. But once I got to my like locked in phase, I guess my senior year track, I was doing 3 workouts a week. Tuesdays would be like hill repeats, and then Thursdays were on the track, and then Saturday was like a longer like tempo like threshold type effort. And then yeah, just put in the easy days on every other day. So
Now, what were you running before your senior year, like time wise? Do you recall?
um my freshman year, well my eighth grade year I ran 4:36 in the 16, and then my freshman year I think I ran 4:27. So like I still had like decent times. I just didn't like know what I was doing still. Like I just knew I had talent and that was about it. And then I think my 32, I don't think I ever ran the 32. My 800 was like too flat. My 4x4 split was like a 52 or 51. But then, yeah, it was as soon as I got to my senior year, it was like big jumps. I went from like, I mean, we never had like paced out races like Illinois never does, but I still was like 4:17, I think, in the 16 and like 1:57 the 8. And I only ran them like one time. And then the 32, I soloed like a 9:30, and then I went to Palatine, and I didn't get in the fast seat at Palatine, unfortunately, but I still ran like 9:17 and just sit and kick kind of race. So it was good.
Palatine's a lot of fun, especially as a high school kid and in Illinois. We don't really have a ton of big distance meets other than Palatine. So if you're pretty decent at distance, you go up to Palatine.
Yeah, for sure. That's where everyone's getting their times for sure.
You look on Athletic Time, then you see all the top times, and it's just Palatine, 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 Palatine.
Yeah, yeah. I'm hoping they start, making more meets like that, like somewhere more south, so all the kids can kind of get into it.
No, I definitely agree. I have a couple buddies down south, and they talk about how running isn't as big of a thing as it is in kind of central to northern Illinois. And I have
Hmm.
I've definitely heard stories about how it's just not the same as here.
Yeah, for sure.
So what did some of your college training look like? We covered high school. What did it look like in college?
For UIS, it was, I guess, a lot of strength work would be the easiest way to put it. But we just do 2 workouts a week, high mileage, 80 to like 100-mile weeks with the whole team. And then our 2 workouts were usually some like longer repeat stuff on Tuesday on the track. And then on Friday, it was really long tempos. So it was pretty simple, but whenever you just have such a good team around you, it's really easy to get fit off 2 workouts.
That kind of brings me into my next question as well. How important was it to you to have a quick team to be able to develop and become fast at the next level?
Yeah, for sure. I think that was like the game changer. At UIS, there's no like facilities really underfunded. So, I mean, the only way you're going to be successful at a school like that, you got to have a good team and everyone's going to kind of buy into it. And that's just what happened at UIS. So, I mean, not only were we hanging out during like workouts and everything, and after practice, we're like immediately getting together for breakfast, like team breakfast, going out to coffee. Like we really had a good bond that helped us kind of push to another level.
Now, how many of the UIS guys are returning from last year? Do you know?
It'll be everyone except for be 3 of our top 5 guys. 2 of them graduated, and I'm transferring. So,
Okay,
and there's a good freshman class coming in, so they're they're still going to be really good and be competing at the national meet for sure.
that's what we want to hear.
Yeah,
So, what was the team environment like during cross country season? You kind of touched on it, but I would love the detail.
yeah. So my freshman year, it was definitely not the best. We all wanted to be really good, but at the same time, we like to have a lot of fun, and I think going into our my sophomore year, we realized like if we're gonna be good, we really gotta lock in. So we cut out like just having fun on the weekends and making sure we're getting 8+ hours of sleep, taking naps, like doing our doubles, making sure we're recovering really well. And so my sophomore year, the team environment was just, I mean, just this past year was crazy. I mean, from my first year to the second, just having everyone locked in, it makes a big difference. And I think once we got to the national meet, we weren't ranked well, but we knew that like the work that we put in was going to pay off, and it did. So it was cool.
Yeah, so it changed drastically from your freshman to senior is what it sounds like. I mean, junior, my apologies.
Yeah, it was a flip. Like we had a top guy, Blake Jones, really good guy. He was our team captain at the time, and I think he was just so good that he could just be like a laid back kind of guy and just like do whatever. And it worked great for him. But I think like the second half of the team just needed someone to really like be on top of them every day, like making sure they're doing everything. And that's when Wyatt McIntyre, he came in as our team captain, and he really like he definitely excelled in that spot. He's not a very talkative guy, but whenever he says something, you kind of listen to him.
There you go. There's a lot of Illinois guys that went to Division II level and succeeded, like Tanner Chata and also McIntyre.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. A lot of Illinois guys that um, I raced against in high school were my teammates at UIS, so it was a cool like it was easy for us to bond. Like we all come from a smaller town, so it's kind of cool.
Was the majority of the team from Illinois?
Yeah, actually, everyone was until this year. We got some, I think, a Michigan guy and Wisconsin guy, but until this year, it was all Illinois. So it's kind of cool to be competing at the national level, which is kind of like your boys.
Yeah, that no, that is pretty awesome. It
Yeah.
also helps though with the sixth place finish last year to bring in recruits. That's
Oh, yeah,
definitely a magnet.
that was huge. You could definitely see that just boosted everything for us because it's kind of hard for us to recruit having like no facilities and
Yeah.
not a lot of stuff to work with other than just having like our team and our atmosphere and our talent. And sixth place really put us on the map.
No, that's yeah. I was rooting for you watching the live results. I was rooting for you guys. You
Yeah.
guys at one point were like third or something, and I was like freaking out. But you guys still closed well.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't. It was actually kind of crazy. We were all so Nationals in Seattle, and it was crazy. Like there's just so many people there, and it's so loud. Um, we get to the finish line, and I didn't race very well, and neither did our guy right behind me because usually he beats me, but he didn't beat me at the national meet. And so we get to the line, and we're like, damn, like we definitely didn't finish well, and one of our teammates that was there is like our alternate. He comes up, he's like, "You guys got six," and we're like, "There's no way! Like, there's no way! It's got to be wrong." But yeah, we ended up pulling it off.
How close were you to fourth? Because don't top four trophy, right?
Yeah, we were there was a decent gap. It was definitely just me and the guy behind me just didn't perform well. Like we should have been all Americans, but it just didn't work out. We ended up like 30 places off. But
It happens, man. Can't hit a home run every at bat.
yeah, 100%.
Now, what made you race quote unquote bad that race? Was it maybe the weather? Because I know it was pretty rough.
Yeah, I think for my own problem, like I had a little bang up injury over the summer, so I got set back on training and then I never got a base under me. So the entire cross country season, I was just trying to train through almost and just like race it out. But it's not the best thing to do at the college level. Like you can do it in high school and junior high, like you don't have to really worry about it as much. But whenever everyone's like got a huge base under them, like it's hard to compete. So I was definitely just set back there. And then the guy behind me, he actually had some hip problems where he had to get surgery, and so he was set back as well. But then, yeah, I mean, not having a base under me the entire season was definitely my problem. The weather at nationals, like you said, it was not ideal. Like in Seattle, it never rains, or I mean, well, not never rains, it never snows. So like the one time we were there, it was snowing the entire time, and it was so weird. And the course was this flat area right next to like this bay like of the Pacific Ocean, like this little inlet, and the course was just soaked. I mean, just muddy. Like you couldn't take corners fast. And I mean, when you got like 200 people on the starting line, it's kind of hard to not slip and fall. Like everyone's taking their time around corners, and it was a little weird with the weather, but we worked it out.
Was it kind of like Laverne, where Laverne is like really, really wide, or was it kind of narrow?
It was wide at the start, and then the rest of the course it was pretty narrow. Like you had to be careful. Like you had to make sure you're running like all like the perfect lines to the next corner. If not, you're just gonna be wasting so much time, which makes it tough in a big field like that because you really can't get to every spot because you just have so many guys around you. But yeah, it was a cool course. I think that was their first time hosting there, so it was kind of weird like having a national meet that no one's ever ran at.
Yeah, I mean, makes it fair. Everyone else is completely blind to it, I guess.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
But so how would you say this track season went?
Um, so we had our national meet for cross country. It was pushed back 2 weeks. Didn't finish that until like a late season, like right before indoor. And then for indoor, I basically just like built up a base during there because I was still behind. And indoor wasn't great. I mean, I raced well. I just didn't have great times. And then coming in outdoor, I had like a huge base under me, so I was able to just put down some decent times. So I'd say the outdoor season was good. The indoor season wasn't ideal, but that's how it goes.
It happens. You had a massive race at Hoka. Walk me through that one. You almost broke four. You were so close.
Yeah, I definitely think I should have broke four. I just whenever we got disqualified for nationals, and that would have been the weekend before I would have raced Hoka, which the D2 national meet. I was just kind of like locked in on that, and so I was like peaking perfectly for that. And then whenever I got told that I wasn't gonna be able to race that, I was like kind of just mentally like thrown off, and I think that kind of weighed in on my Hoka race to where like I just couldn't get locked in before the race, like mentally, like I just wasn't ready for how like serious, like because you were there. I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah,
Um, Running against pros like that, it's a different environment, and if you're not mentally there, it's hard to compete for sure.
for sure. Now, I haven't heard about this getting disqualified. Is it shareable?
Yeah, yeah. I guess a lot of people haven't heard about it. I don't know if you saw the Portland State guys were.
Yeah, I did.
It's the same situation as that. So we don't have like a person like telling us like if we've ran enough meets and everything. So you have to run 4 indoor meets where 14 guys finish, and then 4 outdoor meets where 14 guys finish an event. And then for indoor, we had 5 meets that we got it, and then outdoor we only had 3. So we didn't know that we didn't hit enough meets, and yeah, whenever they went to inter meet for nationals, they were like, "Yeah, you guys can't come." I'm like, damn, kind of. It was just they didn't tell us until super late, so there's nothing we could really do about it.
Yeah, I didn't know about that.
Yeah,
That
sucks.
that's stupid. As I've never heard of this happening before this year, and now it's happening on
Yeah.
occasion. I'm sure it has, but like I've never heard about it.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a weird rule. I think we might be able to get my outdoor season eligibility back for that. So that would be nice just since I'm transferring and then I could use that whenever I'm at a bigger school. So hopefully that works out and then it won't be as big a deal. But yeah, it definitely sucked last few weeks.
So you'd get 2 more years of track then, right?
So yeah, right now I have 2 full years of cross country indoor and outdoor. And if I could get that season back, I'll have 3 outdoor seasons.
Okay, that'd be awesome. Would you use all three of those, do you think?
Uh, unless I get a pro contract coming up my senior year, I think I definitely would use it.
Hey man, On's writing you up right now.
I hope so. I hope so.
Now, before your national meet that you had with well, sorry, you didn't race the nationals. Before that was planned, how did your season progress other than the end of season?
It was good. I was just pretty much just going out trying to hit national marks because I knew I was going to be able to compete. I just needed to hit the time, and I mean, I was real. I think I was not the favorite to win the 1500, but I for sure would have got the All-American. If not, I probably would have won. So like it was kind of like it sucked whenever they told me that. And then I watched the national meet last week, and everyone closed in like a 55, and it was a slow like 1500 to like the last lap. And like that's my kind of race. I was like, damn, like that would have been my shot to get a national title.
You just have to do it next year. If you go
Yeah,
one, Division two, Division three, wherever you go.
yeah, for sure. I gotta definitely get one.
You'll have to close in probably like 53 or 54 if that happens in Division one, which it usually does.
Yeah, 100%.
So, did track training look similar to cross country?
I mean, yeah, I'd say it's definitely pretty similar. In cross country, you're gonna do a lot more grass workouts just because you're racing on grass. So that's about the only change. You don't travel as much for cross country. I mean, you're only racing so many like meets for until you got conference and regionals. So it's a little bit different setup. It's a lot more chill, I'd say, in cross country. But then when track comes around, I mean, you're in college, so you got a lot of classes to take care of, and it's you got to figure out a good balance in track. But in cross country, it's a lot easier.
So, do you have the same coach for cross country and track?
Yeah. So we have 2 coaches, one head and one assistant, and yeah, they do all of our training and everything.
Now, do you have a nutritionist? Because you said you didn't have like a lot of funding. Like, do you have the nutritionist and stuff like that?
No, I mean, we don't. We technically do, but they're not like a part of the sport, like athletics department. So they would be more for just like a normal person nutritionist, and for us, it's definitely a lot different, like what we eat day to day, running so much. So
That's not
yeah,
working. So, was it easy to juggle your college experience at UIS with like academics and running and everything else in between?
it was. I think it's definitely easier than most schools because it's so small, and I only live 30 minutes from UIS, so it was really easy for me to just like I guess balance compared to looking at like these big schools where, they have like some pretty like serious classes, and especially for the underclassmen, they don't have like major classes usually. So it's like the underclassmen are gonna have it a lot easier.
So, what are you mastering in anything or what?
Yeah, I'm thinking. So I was a finance major, but now I'm really kind of like I'm on this coaching thing where I really want to switch my major to sports management and really just kind of lock in on like being a coach after if I go pro after pro, or if I don't go pro after college. So
Well, what level would you want to coach?
I I, I would hope for D1, but I know it's not always easy to get straight out the gate and to a big program, but D1 is definitely the goal. I don't think I could coach high school. I mean, for some kids that like really want to be serious, like it's easy to coach them, but a lot of high school kids usually don't care. So I wouldn't be very patient, I don't think, with them. But kids that want to be good, I feel like I can make them good.
Gotta go to just an absolute powerhouse of a school.
Yeah, for sure. That'd be the goal.
So, what does the upcoming year look like for you?
Um, well, I'm getting ready to transfer this week, like officially make it happen, and then I'll get on their training plan and um, kind of get like my living situation figured out for wherever I go, and then hopefully just kind of smoothly transition into cross country training and get ready for a big season.
So I forgot I was gonna ask. Wait. Oh yeah. Is there any day this week in particular that we should be looking out?
I'm hoping tomorrow that something can get like finalized, but it's probably gonna be Wednesday. So
Gotta wait just another day.
yeah,
I'm gonna be up all
unfortunately,
night, anxious to see what Christian choose.
yeah, for sure.
Now, with with cross country season and track in the midst, how would you rate your overall experience at UIS?
I mean, it was awesome. I learned so much stuff that I didn't know about. I mean, just running or school or just life, like just having like I said, the team atmosphere is so good there. Where I learned like how like good it is to have like a real team around you and guys that like want you to be good. And they want to be good, and your coaching staff like they want you to be good, so they're gonna do anything they can to make sure you're in like the best level to compete.
Now, with all your Illinois guys there, do are they gonna stay or are they transferring as well? I think you said that, but I do know other kids on the team there, so I don't know what they'll do as well. What does that look like?
I mean, as far as I know, I'm the only one transferring. Like I said, Wyatt, and then Matt Muller, who beat me in the 800 at conference this year, he's graduating as well. And then, yeah, that's three of our top five guys gone, but I think everyone's staying. So, as far as I know,
That'd be awesome. I'm really excited to see what they do, and I'm really excited to see how you succeed at wherever you go next.
yeah.
So I do want to end it off on two questions here. They're pretty fun, but
Okay.
first one is what is your favorite dad joke?
My favorite dad joke, man. I don't even know if I could think of one right now. Um, I don't know. What's your favorite dad joke?
Oh, whoa. Okay. Okay.
Throw it back.
Um, Michael Mariano, shout out to him. He told me the stupidest joke ever. Um, it made me laugh, and I still tell it to this day. What's red and bad for your teeth?
I don't know. What is it?
A brick. Like it's stupid. It's like so
That's still
stupid.
good though.
Yeah, it's so stupid. It's hilarious. It made me laugh the first time he told me, and it still does. But
That's good.
so for this last one, I really want you to think if you could tell young Chris Cherry one thing, what would that one thing be?
Um, I think the number one thing that I've learned from running is just enjoy the grind. Like I don't think I ever realized the real factor behind that, but it takes your training to another level whenever you can really just enjoy what you're doing day to day. Because obviously, like running's pretty intense, like it takes a lot of work, but if you can enjoy it, you're gonna be really good.
I I love that a lot. That's been preached throughout my program the past couple of weeks tremendously. So that one definitely was the great answer.
For sure, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for taking time out of your day tonight and this evening. But look forward to seeing your announcement on Instagram. I'll make sure I plug that on in the description. So if you made it this far, make sure you check out the description for that and make sure you go look at it because he's gonna be a star. I'm telling you, he's got something special going for him.
For sure. But thanks, Lance, for I mean, just yeah, having me on like we did back at Shelbyville. We only had a quick interview, but it's good to still see you're chasing your dreams and everything. So
I will never forget that meet. It was the funnest meet ever.
yeah.
It was so terrible though because the weather conditions just turned out to be terrible. But if
Oh man,
they were amazing, you guys would have ran so fast.
I know. It was still cool though. I mean, a really good experience.
I don't think we'll ever have a field within like a meet like that where it's not like Palatine. I don't think we'll ever have a field like that in Illinois distance running again.
Yeah, it was definitely one of a kind. That doesn't happen very often in Illinois for sure.
almost every one of those guys in the championship races. For those of you that are curious, one of them, two of them are at Missouri now. One of them
Mhm.
was at UIS, and one of them ran 406 as a sophomore last year and is going to Tennessee. So
Yeah.
there's a bunch of other guys in that field too that are probably Division 1 and Division 2 that I just
Mhm.
don't know. But just so you know, probably 8 of those guys in that field were Division 1. And it's not like it was a big area that they came from. It was just like a small chunk in Illinois.
Yeah. That's cool.
All right. Well, again, thank you so much. Don't work too hard and make sure you keep having fun.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks.
Later, Chris.
See ya.